What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another YouTube video here. If you guys are clicking on the video, you guys are wondering more about me. If you guys don't follow my Instagram or any of my other socials, you guys probably don't know much about me. So I just thought this video, because I haven't really talked about myself, so I thought it'd be cool for you and me to get to know each other. So I thought today would be a perfect day, because I'm having a little bit of my shoulder's a little bit tight and it kind of hurts, and I don't want to risk any injuries, so I'm just gonna rest today, take it easy and stuff, take care of myself. And yeah, there's not much more to add, so I'm just gonna get started in the video. My name's Robert. I'm 17 years old, and I'm basically just born and raised in Texas. And as a lot of you guys know, I'm just some basic guy who lifts, and yeah, I'm just gonna tell you more about myself today. At first glance, I'm not really anything special, but something that I do think puts me out, of the crowd is my mentality. When I talk about mentality, I don't mean only in the gym. I mean when I'm outside, what am I doing? I've been training 4 years, almost 5, and I've been seriously bodybuilding for about 3. I always used to be a hyper kid, running around with friends in the apartments and all that stuff, going door to door, just knocking on doors, seeing if anybody could come out. I wouldn't necessarily say I've always been athletic. I ran a lot. I was always fast, I was always the fastest kid at the apartments and all that stuff, but I never really competed in anything. And going into middle school, that kind of helped me change, because I tried out for football. Before middle school, there was this summer camp that I wanted to try out. And the coaches that would be training you that year would come in, just basically just seeing, what they're going to be getting. And I'd say 7th and 8th grade is where I started, growing the most followers on my Instagram. I blew up incredibly. 7th grade, I started posting, my fitness progress and all that stuff. I've always been known as the buff guy at school. And 7th grade is what really pushed me. I think I started off with 6,000 followers on Instagram, and then just for me posting and using hashtags. YouTube wasn't even part of the picture. It was just me posting my progress, and I grew from 6,000 to 10,000 in those 2 years. So going through those 2 years is in the back of my mind, I was always thinking, fitness influencing is kind of my thing. I always had that interest in it. I always watched, fitness influencers on YouTube, all that stuff, and it gave me this drive. 8th grade year was when I figured out that one of my coaches, Coach Schaefer, actually competed, or used to before he started coaching, and I sparked interest in that. This was around the time where I found other bodybuilders like Kai Green and all that stuff, and basically started knowing exactly this is what I want. I just know my life needs to involve bodybuilding somehow, and that's all I really found interest in. I found a lot of inspiration from bodybuilders and, their past and all that stuff. I'm a very emotional person. Underdog stories, people coming from the bottom and, taking full control of their life. Those kind of stories just leave something on me. One day I decided to go up to Coach Schaefer and ask for some posing advice. I obviously knew I wasn't big at the time, but I also knew that I was bigger than a lot of people my age. And I also knew that my genetics, I already knew at a young age that, I could probably make it far. You see that? He might not know this, but he just gave me poses to do, and I would go every day after the workout, because athletics was the last period of the day. My favorite. I always looked forward to it. I always went into the office. It was where all the other coaches were as well. And I just got my stuff ready, and I just walked in. I was like, can you watch me do the poses in the office? And I don't think anybody knew, but that was really a moment that I felt like myself. I knew people were watching me, and it just kind of, I really want this. He would just give me, the mandatory poses. I would just, with my bad freaking posture and all that stuff, I just do the mandatory poses in front of them, and then come the next day, ask if I can do it again. And from there, it's just a daily thing. I continued posing with them, and as the year went by, I was just kind of floating more towards the, fitness influencer type thing. And I basically just got to the point where I knew, like, this is what I wanted. Like, I just know I want to be one of those people that just, like, not only show off their physique and, like, give them progress, but, like, I wanted to have a story behind it. And at the time, I didn't really have a story. But I figured it out now. When you hear people say that there's, like, a lot of emotion in bodybuilding, it's very true. And I look back at, like, 8th grade where I just, like, do those poses. And I just remember, like, having that gut feeling, like, I love this. That's the emotion that has, like, been driving me this entire, couple years. During my middle school years, I did football. I tried out track. I tried out cross country. And I wouldn't say I was bad, but what I did notice is that I just never had the same emotion. Like, no matter how much I wanted to, like, motivate myself to, like, do these sports, it was just not for me. I was a kid that was known for, like, packing his rice and chicken. I still remember those days. And it would be after athletics, and I just eat it, and then nobody would really get it. They would be like, you're doing this all the time, but, like, where are you gonna go, with this? And that's where, like, I think Heart of a Champion is created, where you don't really truly understand where you're gonna go, but work needs to be done. I was young. I was like 15, 16, and I was just eating these meals back on back. My posing was trash. I just wanted to be big, and I wanted to be a bodybuilder. When high school started, it was just a downhill from there mentally. High school had started, and that year just kind of blew straight past me. It was nothing special. It was just, me just going to school, hating it, and me working out, getting huge throughout the year. That was all I was focused on. I turned on the lights so you guys could see me a little bit better. I would post on YouTube, like, I do some random motivational speeches I did here and there. Those caught a little bit of traction, but I wasn't, I was still in school, and it was just, weighing me down. And my second year of high school, where basically the whole coronavirus shit started, this was a point for me where I kind of realized, like, how online the world is. Teachers are doing their jobs online, all that stuff. And that just kind of sparked more interest in, like, this channel. Yeah, I get it. I'm young, I'm pretty stupid, but it's this goal that I have. And my second year of high school, I ended up dropping out to pursue this YouTube career. It's all I want. And I really can't imagine anything else that I find more interest in. I'm pretty sure a lot of people just say, like, you don't need to drop out. I was like, it's just what I felt like I needed to do. Life's moving on. I moved past that. I'm doing much better. And that's when life just gave, a massive no. I just simply wasn't happy with myself, with anything. I tried making money a source, I tried hanging out with people as a source, and I just never had that true happiness. And I kind of just gave up on everything. All that money didn't do anything, All those people around me just didn't seem to fill in that empty feeling. But the work was being done every single day. I was still eating every single day. I was still training blindlessly, and I wasn't really sure if I was gonna make it out of there. I was afraid that, nobody wants to see this guy depressed on his Instagram, all that stuff. Nobody wants to see that. But you gotta be realistic here. All these bodybuilders you guys are seeing today, like, they're amazing. They had a past. I'm not fully out of that, mental barrier. It's like we're human. We're always gonna have barriers. Something that really hits me is that some of you feel the same as me. And in my heart, all these motivational videos that I do, is the fact that it helps you, helps me. They're more than motivational videos. They're words and messages that I know that I need to hear. I don't have many people that tell me these things. I've never had anybody tell me I was gonna fail really hard. I was never really taught how to handle my mental health. And taking it into your own hands is hard, but I know there's a way out. My goal for this channel is to document and get through this together. Because I'm aware, I don't really have much motivation, but these videos, for one, are the biggest one I have. Just knowing that it helps some of you guys, that's what drives me. Where I am now, I'm getting out of that place, and I just want to document it because this is going to be history one day. I know a lot of people hate seeing, their depressed version and how they used to be, or like maybe if that's how you are now. I know a lot of people hate that, but me, I love it. I've seen, Kai Green coming from absolute zero, the best bodybuilder in the world. Everybody that I look up to, Chris Bumstead, Rough Diesel, I had a past, and maybe they didn't document it, but they went through it. They went through absolute hell, because now that I'm trying to go through it myself, it's just proving it's difficult, and bodybuilding is a different breed sport. I just want to document me getting out of this horrible place and becoming something, because I seen it happen to somebody, and it gave me massive life-changing inspiration. And I just want to be that person for somebody. I just want to be that person where they can just look at and just be like, man, this guy has gone through some shit, but look at him. Man, this guy gets knocked down every single day, and he's pushing. Man, this guy is sore, This guy's forcing himself to eat, but he's still showing up. It's that why that I want to show people, because they don't get it too much. It's that inner demon that you gotta fight, and not too many people do, and that's what stops them. And that why that you have, man, it's so important. It's that little kid that I see in my mind that gives me that why and sparks it every time. Seeing that kid that would make friends so easy, seeing that side of me that I used to be. It's me. If that kid would look back at me now, I wonder what he would think. If he saw me putting on those hours and showing up every day. I'm sorry that kind of dozed off the path, but it was heartfelt, and I just felt I needed to get it off my chest. I just have the feeling that some of you need to hear that as well, because I know I'm not the only one suffering with these feelings. I've never been that type to, be like, oh my god, why am I feeling this way? Because I always knew somebody, has had it worse. But I know the feelings that I'm having are genuine. And I just know that feeling of anger is like the need to change. It's the want. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time as much as I did. Really had a, release recording this video. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and follow my Instagram. Link will be in the description. If you guys have any future video ideas, just go ahead and leave it in the comments, and I can't wait to try them out. Hope you have an amazing one, and stay shredded.